Hey YouTube, I'm here to do a review of Ephrem's bottle cutter kit. I got this off Amazon. This was the box that it came in. And I did open it. Everything fit nicely in here. I literally just pulled it all out. It came with instructions and things to make, and I assume that, yep, inside here with things to make, it's got all sorts of different suggestions, just cutting regular glasses or vases, candle holders and lamps, goblets, light fixtures, an hourglass, and dishes. So I will probably be trying to make all of these things eventually. I mean, obviously this is my first time using this, so I'm not quite sure. It'll be a learning curve. So as I get better at using it, I will be posting videos of me attempting to make all of these things. But first and foremost, I'm just going to kind of make a vase out of a wine bottle. I'm not using it as a vase, I'm using it as a pencil holder, but same idea. So, and this opens up. It's a basic instruction manual with photos to match the instructions. So it seems pretty simple. Step 1, position the bottle. Step 2, etch the glass. 3, heat the etch. 4, separate the bottle. And 5, smooth the edge. So I'm going to just go ahead and show you the pieces. It does have an introduction to bottle cutting. Because it's the deluxe version, there are additional things I need to know, like cutting at an angle and cutting extra large and or square bottles. Different things like that. So I'll read this in depth, not on the video because that would be a really long video, but this has a lot of extra things using the deluxe bottle cutter. So this is what it looks like coming out. And I do know that this right here, this is the cutting wheel. I have cut glass in the past with one of these. This is a standard glass cutter for just square pieces of glass. My father was a glass cutter by trade for many years, and he passed one of these down to me. You can just, you know, you have a broken mirror or something and there's a decent chunk. You can get this wet with a little bit of kerosene or rubbing alcohol, and you just apply pressure however you want your cut to be and do a tiny little snap, and it gives you a pretty clean edge. But when you're working with round things, it's very difficult to get a straight line, first of all, to score. And the glass on these bottles are usually thicker than straight plated glass. So I tried using this on a wine bottle once. It ended very badly. So I went ahead and ordered the glass cutter. So yeah, as I said, that there is the scoring. It is soft enough that it will not pop a balloon, but it etches glass. Who would have thought? It comes with an extender. I assume for larger bottles that you need to hold out. It also comes with extra wheels. I assume, again, for large bottles to keep it moving slowly. So it comes with extra rolling wheels. They call them front and rear rollers. It comes with a candle because you need to heat and cool the glass very fast on the etch line. I already have a candle lit, so I'll be using that. And then you need ice. It's 80 degrees here, so I have ice on ice to cool the score mark after you heat it. There's also etching cream in here. I believe that's what that is, to etch designs into your glass if you want it to say something nice. So without further ado, let's get started and see how Ephrem's does with their bottle cutter. I'm going to go ahead and place this on here. See, that's a little bit shorter than I would like. I want it to be tall enough that the pencils aren't falling out. So I have to adjust this piece down with a flathead screwdriver. Anybody else feel like you're winning at adulting until you have to deal with a screw and then you have to still say righty-tighty, lefty-loosey to remember which way to turn it? Or is that just me? I'm really good at adulting, but not always. Okay, a little bit looser. I don't want the whole screw to fall off. Is that gonna let me slide it? Doesn't look like it's gonna let me slide it very nicely. Okay. Well, bear with me for just a moment while I go ahead and fix this screw. So I went ahead and adjusted the length. So now when it sits, again, that's the score marker right there. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do it from there. So I'm gonna scooch back here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Rest the bottle alongside here. It says, bottle is placed lengthwise on cutter with bottom flush against the backstop, and it's resting on the rollers. The position of the backstop and rear rollers determines the point at which you cut the bottle. To adjust length, loosen the screw, slide backstop and rollers forward for a shorter cut and backwards for a longer cut. Let's see. Using round, smooth bottle with parallel sides, select the location for the desired cut, which is what I had been doing. A light etch is required. Apply slight pressure on the bottle while rotating the bottle towards you with your hands. Note the position of the hands in the sketch. To ensure an accurate cut, keep the bottle firm against the backstop. Do not allow the bottle to stop turning while scribing the etch. Slight crunching sound will signal the completion of the etch. One revolution of the bottle is all that is necessary. So it says to observe the hands, so I'm just going to show you. It is number 2. So a firm grip on the base of the bottle is what it's looking for. And wait for the crunching sound. So I'll try to stay real quiet and roll it towards me. It did make a score mark. You can see the score mark here. I thought I had done a full rotation. Oh, maybe I did. No. Right here, I'm missing a portion of the etch. There's no etch there. So hopefully it's not going to screw it up too bad if I set it back down. Continuing to roll towards me. Oh, this screw is loose. Make sure you check the tightness of all of your screws, because this piece right here loosened while I was in the middle of giving my etch mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that screw up real quick, and hopefully it didn't mess up my. Everything here is flathead, so you might want to make sure you have one with you. That's a little disheartening. Not a reason to hate the product, just double check your work. There we go. Nice and firmly in place. Now let's hope it doesn't screw up the etch. So I'm going to continue to etch it towards myself, returning the bottle. I could hear where it hit the other part. I don't know if you heard that, but I did hear where it hit. So I have an even score mark all the way around the bottle. Okay, I'll set these aside. So step 3, heating the etch. Before the bottle can separate, it first must be uniformly heated. Light a candle and slowly rotate the bottle in one direction with the tip of the flame about 1/8 of an inch directly under the etch. Alright. Usually 3 to 4 revolutions is sufficient. Then rotate the bottle 2 or 3 times at a faster pace to give a final uniform temperature of the glass. The bottle should feel hot to the touch, but not too hot to handle. Fun fact, when I was in high school, me and a couple of my friends started a band, and we attempted to name ourselves Too Hot to Handle. We weren't very good. Alright. So nice and slow. We have a very low candle, so I hope it's high enough. I'm just going to go ahead and slowly rotate the etch a couple of times. And I actually kept the label up here on this one because I could keep track of my rotations every time I pass the word Italy. And then a little bit faster. It is warm. I wouldn't necessarily call it hot. Place bottle in upright position. Before the bottle cools, rub an ice cube around the etch line 1 or more revolutions until the etch becomes a crack. Crack should continue completely around the bottle. If a slight tug on the 2 pieces fails to separate them, don't try to force them apart. Okay. Ooh, upright, sorry. Ice on the etch line. It doesn't appear to be doing anything. No. Okay. If the 2 pieces, slight tug, nope. The etch line's still there. I did the heating and cooling process. So, if a slight tug on the 2 pieces fails to separate them, don't try to force them apart. Return the bottle to the candle flame and reheat the etch as in step 3. During the reheating process, you may hear audible clicks indicating the uncracked portions along the etch are now cracking. After heating again, try to separate the 2 parts once more. Remember, don't use undue force. Okay, well that did not work, so I'm just going to go ahead and dry this off. I have a cloth over here, and I'm going to try to reheat it. I'm curious if the candle is too low, if it's not getting hot enough, but we're going to try. We're starting from Italy. Imported. Oh, I just heard a mild crack. I'm really hopeful this works because I have a Pinterest board full of ideas that I would really love to share with you. Okay. Slow for the process. Vertical line. Repeat the cold. Ice cube's fallen. Gentle tug. I think maybe the candle's not hot enough. Let me see if I can set up my candle holder, the one that came with it, and hold it a little bit closer. There we go. I got myself this candle lit, so we're gonna try it with a little bit closer of a flame. A few times really fast to remind the heat, like that, and then cool it. It's still not cracking it, not even with a gentle tug. I'm not quite sure why this part is taking so long. Like I said, I've never used this method before, so maybe because I stopped the etch, maybe there was a problem with that. I can see the full score mark, so I know that it got all the way around. I'm just not sure why it won't break. It's hot. I'm going to use one of my ice pack coolers because my ice cube has melted. And a gentle tug. No. It still won't break, guys. I'm not sure why.
Probably because it doesn't want to break.
Sometimes it is necessary to repeat the heating and cooling steps several times depending on thickness of the glass. So maybe that's the only issue. Maybe I'll do it again. If you can hear the funny sounds off to the side, those are my kids playing with the cat. They're helping me keep the kitties away from the fire.
Kitty cat, stay away from the fire. Yeah.
I feel like this process is taking a very long time. But if it works, ooh, I got myself a little dark spot on there. I'm holding it a little bit too long on the glass is definitely hot. So I'm not sure what's taking so long. It's not working! Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and put pause because I don't want to make you wait here any longer. And I'm going to keep doing this process until something happens. And then I'll let you know how many more times it took of heat and cool. So this last time when I cooled it, I heard a lot of cracking, so I'm hoping this will be it. And I really want to show you guys the final crack, so hopefully this is it. Still not doing much. I don't hear the cracks with the heat. Maybe today just isn't my day. I don't know. Maybe the score mark didn't work right. I don't know if you can hear, but there's definitely a cracking sound.
I'm really hoping, because it's half an hour video. You better have some success, right? Little tug? No? Little tug? No. It is just not wanting to crack open for me. Well, I think I did a pretty fair job following the instructions. I don't feel like this is super thick glass, so I'm not sure if this is what I should expect every time. The bottle was hot enough that even my my pack coolers are starting to melt a little bit here.
Did I follow instructions good enough, or is it just unlucky?
Unlucky. I think you followed instructions. I think you followed instructions. It's just, I think it's just the instructions. It just doesn't want to be broken.
Yeah.
And it doesn't want to be breaking. And Jimmy and it doesn't know.
It does say let it crack on its own. So I don't really want to apply too much force. Is it close enough here?
This is going to be.
I'll try to see if I can fast forward this section, because this is just taking forever, guys.
Yeah.
Nora, do you think you go get me another ice cube?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like an ice cube.
Yes, a regular ice cube.
Okay.
That score mark is looking pretty deep. I don't know. It looks like a pretty darn good score. You'd think it just... I'm going to have my daughter get me another ice cube and see if maybe these are just not cold enough anymore, or... Thank you. No luck. I don't know what to do. Guess I just keep working at it. I just heard a very loud crack when I reapplied it to the heat. I think it is actually really doing it this time. So I just went round and round. Now it says to do it fast, so to make sure the heat's across the whole thing. Ready? Please work, please. think that it's about time. There was definitely a very loud crack sound when I applied it to the heat the last time. So I'm thinking this particular bottle is going to crack over heat, not with the ice. But it's the dramatic difference from hot to cold that really gives it the break.
Woo!
And there we have it. It worked. I just barely put any pressure on it. And we have 2. The top edge really isn't that sharp. That I'm not worried about. I will sand it down just a touch along the bottom. And you can see where the etch... I'm going to try to bring myself in. Where the etch... I restarted it after the... I don't know if you can see it. There's a tiny, tiny lip of unevenness right there. And I think that's where I had to retighten the track. But there you have it. It worked really well. It took longer than I anticipated. But I think a lot of the problem at the beginning was that it wasn't close enough to the flame. And then I don't think my ice pack pieces were cold enough. So all in all, I really like it. I'll have to test it out with the angle cutter and the square cutter as well. But I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll set a link to this particular bottle cutter in the description box. Thanks, YouTube. Bye.